Hey everyone, welcome to SDET-Nest. First of all, Happy New Year in advance to everyone watching this video. I am so excited you guys are here. Let me kick things off with a quick overview of what this channel is all about. Who is this channel for? Anyone who wants to break free from manual testing and jump into automation to become a powerful full stack SDET. Whether you are fresh out of college or stuck in manual testing for years, this channel is your gateway to a six-figure career in testing. Now, who am I? My name is Ankit and I work as a professional QA engineer right here in Bangalore. But listen, do not think me as your typical tutor standing in front of you lecturing. No way, okay? So think me as your friend, your buddy, someone who is sitting right next to you, learning and practicing every single thing together. So, what will you actually get here? For the next 5 to 6 months, we are going on an incredible journey together. And by the end of it, you won't just be an automation tester, you will be a full stack SDET. You will think like a tester, you will code like a developer, and you will understand systems like an engineer. That's the transformation we are doing here. Now, here's the million rupee question. Is this course free? Let me be 100% transparent with you because I know many of you are thinking, okay, Ankit, first few videos will be free, then he will lock everything behind a paywall, right? Wrong. That's exactly what many channels do. They start all energetic and seriously, upload a full video, and then boom, membership wall. Nothing happened here, friends. Every single video will be free here. No hidden charges, no membership nonsense, no surprise paywalls. Everything is transparent, everything is open, everything is on YouTube. Now, if you absolutely love what we are doing here and want to support my work, you can always buy me a coffee. Send any amount to the UPI ID in the description, I will mention it. But that's completely 100% optional. I am not asking for you any money. I am asking for three things. First, your time. Second, your consistency. And third thing is your full attention to each video. That's it. And because you, here's what I believe is, if you show up every week, practice every day and stick with me, your life will change, and that's worth more than any amount of money. Now, before we dive into the roadmap, let's understand something fundamental. What exactly is an SDET? Alright, so let's start with the basic. Look at this slide. Let me read the first line carefully. SDET stands for Software Development Engineer in Test. It is a role where a person understands testing, development, and automation together, not just one of them. Now, let me break this down for you because this is the foundation of everything we are doing here, right? See, the words are very simple, but they carry a lot of meaning. Here, software, which is any application, website, or app you use, right? Development, which involves building and coding. Next is engineer. So, engineer is someone who designs smart solutions, not just following the instructions. Then we have test. It is checking quality and finding the bugs. So when you combine all four words, software development engineer in test, you get someone who is not just a tester clicking buttons and not just a developer who is writing code. And as that is a hybrid, it is a rare breed, someone who can do both testing and development. So think of it like this, okay? Let's say if a manual tester is like a quality inspector at a factory and an automation engineer is like a factory worker setting up the machines, then an SDET is like a supervisor who knows quality control and can operate or modify the machines and also understands the whole production system. So the key phrase here is it understands testing, development, and automation together, not separately, together. Because in real companies, these skills work hand in hand. Now let's move to the second point. So here it says, and as that focuses on the quality of the product but uses strong coding and designing skills to achieve it. This is where it gets interesting. Let me explain what this really means. Okay, so as a tester, our main goal is making sure the product is perfect, it works correctly as per the given requirement without any bugs, and the end user should have a great experience. That's the whole testing mindset. Now, how are you going to achieve it? You don't just click around and report bugs like a manual tester. No, you will use strong coding skills either by using Java or Python, whatever language you are comfortable with. You use smart designing skills, creating frameworks that scale, organizing tests in a way that makes some sense. Okay, building automation that is maintainable. Now, my friend, this is exactly what we are building in this 6 month journey. We'll be turning you from wherever you are today into a complete, well rounded asset. Alright, guys, this is where things get really clear because now I'm going to show you the exact difference between three roles: manual testers, automation testers, and SDETs. And trust me, once you see this, you'll understand what exactly is an SDET. So let's start with manual testers. What do they do? Mainly test the applications by hand by clicking on buttons, typing into the fields, and checking if things work correctly. How do they work? They follow test cases, they run through user scenarios and report bugs that they find. So, when it comes to coding, manual testers rarely get involved in coding or zero coding sometimes. Let me paint a small picture. Imagine a manual tester sits at their desk, opens a website, and manually goes through 50 test cases. They click here, they check in page, they check if the page loads, they type in username, they check if it accepts, they click on the login, check if it redacts correctly. All manual, all by hand, all repetitive. So where's the problem is? Manual testing process is slow. Let's say if you have 1,000 test cases, it takes weeks to execute them. And the next week, when the developers make changes, you run the same 1,000 test cases again. Week after week, the same boring, repetitive work. But the good part is, manual testers are really good at thinking like users. They find edge cases, they understand the business logic, and they catch bugs that automation sometimes miss. So manual testers are like quality checkers. Now let's talk about automation tester. What do? They write scripts to automate test cases. So instead of manually clicking 1,000 times, they write code that clicks 1,000 times automatically. How do they work? They use tools like Selenium for UI testing, Postman for API testing, and create test scripts. They also create test scripts for the API testings. Do they code? Yes, obviously, they definitely code. They write scripts in Java, Python, JavaScript. These are the top three programming language for automation testers nowadays. Let us try to understand this with an example. So, an automation tester sees that manual tester spends 2 hours clicking through login flows. Okay. Now, the automation tester says, let me write a script. Now, the same test runs in 2 seconds automatically every time. So automation testers may not always get involved in framework design or DevOps sites like an SDETs. Okay. So when we talk about the good part for automation testing, it is fast and repeatable. Once an automation tester writes a script, it runs thousands of times without getting tired. But here's the problem. Many automation testers only know how to write scripts. They don't understand how to design a complete framework, how to set up CI/CD pipelines, how to manage DevOps and automation at scale, how to architect testing for large items. They are good at following tools, but not always at designing smart systems. So automation testers are like script writers. Now, here's what it gets exciting. And as that combines all three, I mean manual, automation, and DevOps. They understand manual testing fundamentals. They think like a tester, they design test cases and find the edge cases. They also write clean, maintainable automation code, not just the scripts that work, but code that other engineers can understand and maintain easily. But not but this is not the end for SDET. What else a SDET can do? They help in designing and improving testing framework. They build systems, not just test them. They work with CI/CD pipelines by making test runs automatically in Jenkins, GitHub, or AWS. Sometimes they work closely with developers on architecture and code reviews. Yes, developers respect them. They also checks software quality at every stage, not just at the end, but throughout the development phase. So overall, an SDET can think like a tester, code like a developer, and they understand the systems like an engineer. They are a triple threat. Now, so here is the last three line that concludes the difference between these three. Manual testers check things and find problems in it. Automation testers write scripts and automate the checking. SDET designs and builds the entire checking system so that it runs forever without any human intervention. And I hope after this you will be very clear about the differences in these three fields. Alright, now we have established what an SDET is. But the real question is, why is SDET booming right now in 2026? Look at this slide. You see five circles all connected. These are the five major reasons why SDET is the hottest role in tech companies right now. And trust me, understanding these reasons will change you how you think about your career. Let me walk you through each one, and by the end, you will see exactly why this is the perfect time to become an SDET. Okay. So the reason one, that is faster release cycles. Let's say 5 years ago, companies would release a new version of their app once every 6 months. They had spent months testing, then release. But today, companies release new features weekly, sometimes daily. For example, Netflix releases code 4,000 plus times a day. Amazon releases hundreds of times a day. Even startups are releasing multiple times a week. Why? Because speed to market is equal to competitive advantage. If your competitor releases a cool feature and you are still testing it manually for 2 weeks, you have lost. So the problem is manual testing cannot keep up things with speed. If you have 1,000 test cases and you manually test them, it takes 50 to 100 hours per release. That's 2 to 3 weeks of work. By then, your competitors have already released 10 new features, right? But what SDET saves the day is an SDET builds automation framework that tests thousands scenarios in 10 minutes, not 100 hours, only 10 minutes. Now developers can write code Monday morning, they can push changes to Git, then the automated test will run instantly. If the test passed, feature goes live on Wednesday itself, and boom, feature is in production. That's the speed companies need, and only SDETs can build system fast enough to support it. Moving to the next reason, that is shift left testing focus. Okay, this one is important. Let me explain what shift left means. Traditionally, testing happened at the end of the development, right? Now, developer finishes coding, then the QA tests it. If bug found, it is assigned back to the developer, and then the QA comes back into the picture for testing it. This is called shift right testing because testing was on the right side of the timeline. But company realized something. Bugs found early are cheap to fix. Bugs found late are expensive to fix. For example, a bug in the login system cost 500 bucks to fix if found during coding. But if found after the app goes live to 1 million users, it could cost 50,000 bucks to fix with emergency patches. It will with lost revenue and obviously the angry customers. So companies said, let's shift testing left. Test during development, not after. This means developers and QAs or the SDETs work together from day one. How does this work? The developer will design a feature and they will assign it to the SDET. Now SDET will design test for it. Then again developer write codes. SDET test the run automatically. If something breaks, developer knows instantly in seconds. Bugs are caught while the code is fresh in the developer's mind. The developer and SDET are like partners. Developer will say, I wrote the login system. SDET will come into the picture and they will say, great, my test validated it and it works with 100 different scenarios. Here are the three edge cases you missed. Developer will say, oh, let me fix those right now. Then by doing this, the bug got caught. The bug, it got caught and it got fixed and moved on. No waste of time. Why do companies love this? Because defect caught early is equal to cheaper to fix, which is a better quality and faster releases, and at last happier customers. And who makes it this possible? The SDET who sit with developers, understand their code, and write smart tests from day one. Coming to the reason third, that is demand for automation. Well, think about modern applications today. Netflix has millions of users, Instagram have billions, Google processes trillions of searches. So the complexity is insane. Applications have nowadays 100 plus screens or pages. They have lot of features. They have multiple devices like phone, tablets, or web. They also make their application available in different regions, different languages with multiple payment methods, and obviously the APIs which talking to other system. Now, manual testing this is possible? A manual tester could spend their entire career testing just one feature, but applications are growing exponentially. You can't hire enough manual testers. It's not economical, it's not practical. Here enters the automation. But here's the thing, automation isn't just writing scripts. You need frameworks, smart, scalable, maintainable frameworks. And as that designs these frameworks, they ask questions like, how do I test for 10 different devices in parallel? How do I run 5,000 tests without one breaking another? How do I handle test data dynamically? How do I organize tests so developers can add new tests easily? How do I generate reports that show exactly what's failing and why? These are some engineering questions, not just scripting questions. Only an SDET can answer them because they combine testing knowledge plus development skills plus architectural thinking. Let us take a real example. LinkedIn has a team of 3 SDETs, and 0 manual testers. Those 3 SDETs test more scenarios than 30 manual testers can do in 1 by 10th the time with 10x better quality. So this reason you can say you cannot manually test modern applications. You need automation engineers, that is SDETs. Coming to the next reason, that is CI/CD integration needs. So here's a concept that crucial: CI/CD, continuous integration, continuous development. Let me break this down. Continuous integration. Every time a developer pushes code to Git, automation test run. If test pass, then the code is good. If test fails, stop. Don't deploy. Coming to the continuous deployment, if test pass, automatically deploy to the production, right? So what I'm saying is, if the test gets passed, it will automatically deploy to the production. No human intervention is needed here. Now the tools used will be Jenkins, GitHub Actions, Docker, AWS, and many more nowadays. Now here's the problem. These tools are powerful, okay, but it's very complex. You need someone who understands how to integrate test into Jenkins, how to use Docker to run test in isolated environments, how to run test in parallel across multiple servers, how to set up alerts when test fails, how to generate reports automatically. This is not something a traditional automation tester does. Traditional automation testers write scripts. Here, CI and CD requires engineering thinking, designing the pipelines, understanding infrastructure, then troubleshooting complex systems, right? Then here the SDET enters, and SDET understands both testing and DevOps. They can write tests that work in CI/CD pipelines. They can set up Jenkins jobs to run the tests automatically. They can use Docker to containerize the tests, and they can configure alerts and notifications. So overall, they can build the entire automated quality infrastructure. With a real world example, let me explain this. So, in Google testing infrastructure, every single code change is tested within seconds by millions of automation testers running across thousands of servers. This is managed by SDETs, not regular automation tester. Without SDET, this would be impossible. Test would sit in Git, okay? Nobody would run them. Bugs would reach production. So this reason is mostly related to the infrastructure. Modern companies need someone who can build automated testing pipelines. That's an SDET. Coming to the last reason, that is cost effective. So let's talk let's talk more about this, okay? Because the money, this is the reason companies are obsessed with SDETs right now. So the traditional team structure is nowadays, it's not the number which I'm going to say is not obvious. It may change. Just giving an approx number. So the manual testers, let's say they earn 8 to 10 LPA. Automation tester can earn 10 to 15 LPA. DevOps engineer can earn 15 to 20 LPA. Total 3 people, right? Which is approx 33 to 45 LPA. Now, in modern team structure, what they are doing is they will hire only one person in place of all these three. That is SDET. They will pay 18 to 26 LPA. It's not a correct. I mean, it's not a number which I'm saying that is correct, but it is a approx, just for understanding purpose. So who does more work? The one SDET, because this one person can understand the testing like manual tester. They can write automation like automation tester. They can set up CI/CD pipelines like the DevOps engineer. They can architect the frameworks like a senior engineer. Now you guys know better, okay? Let me share something important. Before starting any long journey, one big question is always in our mind. What about the salary? Here's the truth. Don't worry about salary when you are learning something new, okay? If you work hard and build real skills, money will follow you always. Now, if you go to the Google search and if you search for how much are Indian SDETs earning in 2025, here's what you will find. You will find the overall average salary will be approx 23 to 26 LPA. That's more than any senior developer, many senior developers. So, if you see for the freshers, it will range around 10 to 13 LPA. And fresh out of college starting at 10 plus LPA, better than most IT jobs. For the mid level, let's say 5 to 8 years of experience, they can earn 17 to 24 LPA. So you are earning what a senior developer earns. Now here comes the lead SDET. Now the lead SDET can earn 30 LPA or even more for top performers. Some companies pay them 40 to 50 LPA for exceptional SDETs. Why this salaries? Because SDETs are rare. Not many people have this skill combination. You guys know, right? Where if the demand is greater than the supply, then the salary gets increased or the salary gets high. All right, guys. Now I want you to look at this chart very carefully. This is what actually happening in the job market right now in 2025. So this chart shows the real hiring trends from 2020 to 2025 for 3 QA roles. And trust me, this chart alone should convince you that now this is the perfect time to become an SDET. Let me break down and what's you're seeing here, okay? So you can see at the blue line, that's manual testers. In 2020, 60% of QA hiring was for manual testers. Out of every 10 QA jobs, 6 were for manual testers. Now fast forward to 2025, look at where it is now, just 35%. That's a drop of 25% points in just 5 years. So what does this mean? This means that the manual testing jobs are disappearing. Companies are saying, why hiring 3 manual testers when we can hire 1 SDET and use automation? So if you're thinking, I will stick with manual testing, I'm telling you honestly, this market is shrinking. Every year, there are fewer manual testing jobs. If this trend continues, by 2027, manual testing could be less than 25% of QA jobs. Now, look at the red line. That's automation tester. In 2020, automation testers were about 30% of QA hiring. By 2025, still around 30 to 35%. It's flat. It's not growing. It's neither growing, it's not shrinking. Just staying the same. Why? Because automation skills are becoming table stacks with basic requirement and it's with not differentiator. Automation testers are fine. You can get a job as an automation engineer, but you are competing with thousands of others who also know Selenium and Python or Java. Your value isn't unique. Your salary might plateau. So the competition is high, the growth is low in automation testers. It's a stable job but not a growing job. And in tech, stable often means you get left behind while other leap forward. Now look at the green line. Those are SDETs. In 2020, SDET were only 10% of QA hiring. Very rare. By 2025, SDETs are 32% of QA hiring. Let me put that another way, okay? Now, SDET hiring has more than tripled in just 5 years, as you all can see here. From 10% to 32% is a 220% increase. In 2025, almost 1 in 3 QA job openings are for SDETs. And this trend is not slowing down. Every indication suggests it will keep climbing. What does this mean for us? If we become an SDET right now in early 2026, we are entering a market where demand is exploding. We will be a very rare skill, only 32% of jobs for SDET level. Then also we can say companies are very desperate to find SDETs nowadays. Our salary keeps increasing as demand grows. We have job security even in recessions. Companies protect SDET roles. So the trajectory is very clear. Manual continues down, automation stays flat and SDET continues up. Guys, I am not trying to scare you, I am just trying to wake you up. If you are currently a manual tester, the graph shows your job category is shrinking. In 5 years, if you don't evolve into automation or SDET, you will find fewer jobs available. If you are thinking of becoming an automation tester, the red line is flat, you will get a job, make decent money, but you will be competing with thousands of others. No growth, no excitement, no opportunity to stand out. But if you become an SDET right now, you are jumping on a wave that's exploding. You are entering a market where demand is greater than supply, as I said earlier. You are learning a skill that's the future of testing. So, when you are thinking, should I really commit to this 6 month SDET journey? Look at this chart and ask yourself, in 2026, do you want to be a manual tester in a shrinking market, or an automation tester in a flat market, or an SDET in an exploding market? The choice is obvious. So, guys, here's what you need to realize: this path isn't just about learning a new skill, it's about strongly impacting your career and your CTC if you stay consistent. By choosing the SDET journey now in 2026, you are not just following a trend, you are preparing yourself for the future of testing, where full stack quality engineers will be the one leading the way. So in next 5 years, being a manual tester will be like being a typewriter operator in 2025, which is outdated. But being an SDET, that's the future, and you are about to become one. So let me clear you guys what this series is about. In this video, you will get a clear idea of what you need to do for the next 6 to 7 months and how this free series will help you. This playlist will start on YouTube from 1st Jan 2026. So if you are thinking about a New Year resolution and you want to become an SDET, this can be your perfect starting point. You might already be thinking, you guys will be getting the notes, right? What topics are I'm going to cover? What is the exact plan for 5 to 6 months? There may be hundreds of questions in your mind regarding the learning path, and in this video you will get all the answers. This course is designed for both freshers and experienced testers who want to upgrade their skills. How the learning will work here is, in this series you can follow along by spending 1 hour a day or 8 to 10 hours per week. I repeat guys, 1 hour a day or 8 to 10 hours per week, either on weekdays or weekends. My plan is to upload 2 to 3 videos per week so that you and we both stay aligned and consistent throughout this SDET journey. Okay. So to make sure you never miss a video, subscribe to this channel and turn on the notifications right now. Now, regarding the notes and study materials, throughout the playlist I will be using only Google Docs while learning. So you will get all these notes through a link in the description of each video so that you can download, edit or revise them easily. Also, all the examples in this series will be simple and relatable so that you can remember them and recall them confidently in the interviews. And finally, the wait is over guys. Here we have our roadmap to become an SDET. Before we dive into the roadmap, let me answer one crucial question that's probably in everyone's mind. Which programming language should I choose? Java, Python or something else? If you ask me, and I'm telling you from real experience that I would like to recommend Python. Why Python? Because, okay, let me make you understand with these solid reasons. Because of its simplicity and readability. So here you write less code to do more tasks. It is perfect for the testers jumping into automation. So with Python, you can write 5 lines of code that would take 20 lines in Java. Then it is instantly executable, which means while comparing it with Java needs boilerplate setups, imports, class definitions before you write one line of logic. But in Python, we just write and run. In Selenium, the Python works very beautifully. It works well with the API, with the database and AWS. Everything in the testing world works seamlessly with Python libraries. Python opened door to data science and AI testing skills that are booming right now. Java doesn't give you that flexibility. Python syntax is almost like English. It's a beginner friendly. You will learn 3x faster than Java, and if you have never coded before, Python is your best friend. Guys, Java is a great language, no doubt, Enterprise companies use it, but for our 2026 SDET roadmap, Python gives you faster results with less frustration. You will be writing tests in weeks, not months. So don't overthink it. Python is the right choice for us. Alright, now here's the real deal. Look at this roadmap slide. Your full 6-month journey is divided into 3 big learning tracks. The very playlist 1 is Selenium WebDriver using Python and PyTest. Playlist 2 is about REST API testing using Postman, Python request and database integration. Playlist 3, which is our last playlist, that is about the SDET DevOps mastery using Docker and AWS. See the arrows connecting them. This is a progression. Each playlist built on the previous one. You are not jumping around randomly. You are building a complete connected skill set. So how it flows is, first we build strong UI automation foundations with Selenium, Python, PyTest frameworks and CI/CD. Then once you are confident with that, we move to API testing using Postman and Python request. And finally, we cap it off with DevOps skills using Docker and AWS. By the end, you will be a complete full stack SDET. Now let me be honest with you guys about time, because I know you are wondering how much time will this really take. The commitment, as I said before, 8 to 10 hours per week. That's like watching 2 to 3 movies or reading a couple of books. 8 to 10 hours per week is doable for anyone with a job, college or life responsibilities. With that pace, the timeline set is playlist 1 of 3 months. You will become strong in UI automation, testing frameworks and continuous integration. Then playlist 2 will be approx for 2 months. Then you will master API testing and backend integrations. And playlist 3 will be almost 20 days or less. This will be your final touch with the DevOps polish. You will deploy tests in cloud environments. This is a flexible. If you practice more, you will finish faster or sooner. If you practice less, it might take a bit longer. But if you follow the plan and stay consistent with 8 to 10 hours per week, 5-6 months is realistic. Okay guys, so let me break down each of the playlists one by one. So coming to the first one, here all these lists are modules. Inside each playlist, all the points you can see are considered to be as modules. So module 1 is manual testing, automation and Selenium basics. So here we will start at the absolute basics. What is software testing? What are its types? What problems exist in manual testings? Why is automation necessary? This module lays the foundation so you are not confused later. Next is module 2. Here we have Python essentials for testers. You can't automate without coding skills, right? So we introduce Python step by step using some of the concepts like variables, loops, functions, OOPS concept, file handling and many more. So everything broken down so nothing feels overwhelming. Okay, you will write your first Python script in week 2. Next is module 3, which is having Selenium WebDriver in action. So now we get hands-on. You will write actual test scripts, master locators. Locators means how to find the elements, how to handle waits. We will work with alerts and iframes. We'll learn to manage files. We'll make tests work across multiple browsers. Yeah. So next is module 4, which is a PyTest. So actually, let me clear guys, PyTest is a framework that organizes your test professionally. So using fixtures, test reports and running tests in parallel, this is how real companies structure tests. Next we have logs and page object model, or we call it as POM. Our code needs to be maintainable. We'll learn logging, how to track what happened, and page object model, how to organize your test code so it doesn't become jumble code. Next is module 6. In module 6 we have hybrid framework live project. Okay, so this is the excitement module. We will design a complete production ready hybrid framework from scratch. We'll learn about page objects, data driven tests, automated reports, email notifications, everything that a real SDET builds. And for in the playlist 1, the last module is CI/CD, Jenkins and version control. Finally, we'll make our test runs automatically using Git, GitHub, Jenkins, Maven. So our test will run every time code is committed without human intervention. Okay guys, so we can conclude the playlist 1 by saying that by the end of this playlist, we are going to gain complete UI automation skill. We'll be professional testing framework knowledge. Then we'll be gaining CI/CD pipeline setup capability. Then also we will be building a portfolio project that we can show to companies. Now coming to playlist 2, that is REST API testing using Postman, Python request and database integration. So after we master UI testing, we'll shift to API testing, which is equally important in modern development. Here's what we'll cover. Module 1. Here we'll cover the API testing fundamentals, the client server architecture, what APIs actually are, why testing them matters, HTTP methods like get, post, put, etc., status codes, security basics and foundation time. Next, the second module in the API testing we have is API testing using Postman. So Postman is a tool where you can test your APIs. So here we are going to use the Postman, which is the industry standard tool for API testing. We'll be learning about collections, request, response validation, JSON schema validation, pre-post scripts, variables, request chaining, and we will master Postman like a pro. The very third module in this playlist is we'll be building a real project. We'll be testing an online store API end to end, reading documentation, writing test cases, designing collections, the Newman reports, CI integration, practical we will be doing, then along with real world experience. And in the module 4 for this playlist is Python request for API testing. So now we'll code it. The request library in Python lets you write API tests in code, not just GUI tools. HTTP methods, payloads, parameters, authentications, then file handling, then JSON parsing. So we'll be writing all these API tests like a developer. Next module is advanced API automation in Python. API chaining. So API chaining is one response fits the next test. We'll be using GraphQL. We'll be building complete API test frameworks with proper folder structures. We'll be using payload builders, which will make our advanced stuff stand out. Next module is reporting and CI/CD for API tests. We'll be using PyTest reports, Allure reports, parallel executions, GitHub integrations, Jenkins pipelines for API tests, and automating this API testing end to end. The very last module in this playlist is advanced integration and data handling. So this is where it goes powerful. Okay, we'll be seeing how database interactions with Python SQL connector. We'll be seeing how the BDD frameworks, writing tests in human readable format actually. We'll be also seeing the CSV parsing and data handling. We'll be learning about AWS Linux servers with SSH. We'll be actually executing server commands and jobs. We'll be learning about web scraping for data science and also some of the batch job automations. So this module alone teaches us integration skills that most automation testers don't have. So I can conclude the playlist 2 by saying that by the end of this playlist, we'll have complete API testing expertise. Then we will master the Python request. We'll gain database integration skills. We will be capable to automating the servers. We will have real project portfolio. So the timeline that I'll say is 2 months at 8 to 10 hours per week. Okay guys. Now finally playlist 3, which is SDET DevOps mastery using Docker and AWS. So this playlist will take us to the final DevOps level. These are the skills that will complete our SDET transformations. So inside this playlist, in the very first module, we have Docker for automation, which is Dockerizations and Selenium integrations. So we'll run Selenium in containers. We'll try to understand Docker virtualizations for stable testing. We'll see how seamless Selenium plus Docker integration works. We'll be creating dynamic Selenium grids that scale across servers. So containers let you run tests anywhere, anytime or on any machine. This is how Netflix and Amazon does it. Next module we have inside this playlist is AWS Cloud Essentials. We'll see about cloud computing fundamentals and AWS overview. We'll be creating our AWS account and understand the terminology. Then we will be setting up Windows servers on EC2, which is a AWS virtual computer service. And at last, we'll set up Linux servers on EC2. We'll deploy actual test environments on AWS, which is the real cloud skills. So I can conclude the playlist by saying that by the end of this playlist, we will have Docker containerizations expertise. Then we'll gain AWS cloud deployment skills. We'll have clear understanding of cloud infrastructure, and we will be capable of setting up a scalable testing timeline. And guys, for this, the timeline I would suggest for this, for the last playlist, is 20 days or less at very 8 to 10 hours per week. But wait, there's more. This series isn't just about learning modules. I'm giving you extra bonuses that can make your job ready. The first bonus is Gen AI in testing. I know most of you will be aware of this generative AI nowadays, which is a booming thing. We'll explore how AI tools help in modern testing, prompt using the prompt engineering. We'll see the AI powered test generations. We'll see about the intelligent automation we can do for our testing. Next bonus is GitHub portfolio building. So we'll upload all our code and learning to GitHub. So you will build a public portfolio that companies can see. This alone will make you stand out, guys. Now, the third number bonus is resume and company guidance. So I'll help you craft a killer resume using AI tools. Plus, I'll share a specific companies which are actively hiring SDETs with good CTCs. No blind job hunting. And the bonus for we are having is we'll solve important interview questions together. We'll conduct mock interviews so you can practice answering like a pro. When companies interview, you will be confident, not nervous. So all these extras are completely free. Three important things. First, it is absolutely free only on this channel SDET-Nest. Every single video, every module, every bonus is absolutely free only on this channel, nowhere else. Second, starting on very 1st January 2026, it will our journey will begins on the very new year day. So new year, new career, new you. Third is you have to subscribe and turn on the notification, because if you hit that subscribe button and the bell icon, you don't want it means that you don't want to miss a single video. Each one builds on the previous one. So guys, look at this roadmap one more time. See the 3 playlists, see the progression, see where it's leading. By the end of this 6-month journey, you won't just have learned Python, Selenium, Postman, Docker and AWS. You will have transformed into something rare and valuable, a true SDET. So when you are thinking, can I really do this? Will I be able to handle it? Remember, this roadmap is proven. Thousands of people have gone through similar journeys. If they can, you can too, guys. Okay guys, so the last question before we wrap up is, what do you actually need to start this journey? Look at the center. That's you with the lamp. You are about to climb. But what you need is, the very first thing, laptop and an internet. So it can be Windows, Mac, Linux, doesn't matter. You don't need a gaming laptop. A basic laptop that can run IDE softwares, Python and a browser which is enough, more than enough. And obviously the internet. I believe you guys already have it since you are watching this. Second thing is mindset and consistency. So the most important thing is mindset and consistency. Believe you can do this. Stop thinking I have never coded before, I can't do it. You're not the first. You won't be the last. Thousands have done it. You will too, guys. Consistency here, you can show up 8 to 10 hours every week. I'll give you the best content, but if you don't show up consistently, it won't matter. The journey is on you. Third is interest and engagement. This is very crucial. You need to have this. Watch every videos, drop your questions in the comment box, participate in the community. Okay guys, I forgot to inform you that I'll be sharing a Discord link in the next video where we can connect easily and discuss with other folks everything related to our SDET journey. Okay, so don't be a silent learner. What I believe is engagement is what turns viewers into builders. And the very last thing is practice and revision. So don't just watch the videos. After every module, code along. Make mistakes, debug it, revise, rewatch confusing parts. So learning happens in practice, not just by watching. You will write 100 plus test scripts, build 3 plus projects. That's where the magic happens. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you have any doubts, please ping it in the comment section. I'll reply to each and every comment. Let's begin on Jan 1st, 2026. See you on day 1. Signing off.